Just three of us. Triangle of youth, representing God bless the Queen, and may Alex uncle rest in peace. I'm here for you. Bring it. No questions, no concern. Everything is easy, clear. No challenges. Retreat. Yeah, please. Let's talk about them. Let's. Huh? You'd be surprised because if it's, I mean, it's good to have challenges because it means that there is something behind it. If you go past it, what's after it? So there was a long period of time when I used to avoid any kind of conflicts because I just wanted to be in a good vibe all the time. And I realized that it's not possible to live my life that way. Because no matter how much I care about a person, within 12 sentences deep, people will say something that sometimes feels like a punch in the stomach. You know? It's not that they're bad people, it's just we are not the same. You know? We live the same reality, but if we have 100 ideas, if you can agree on 10, that makes a very good friend. And the other ones are room to grow and understand each other. So for a long period of time, I used to say, hey, as soon as the vibe is not good, I'm out. Because I was extremely sensitive to peer pressure. Because I just wanted to be accepted. Oh, you guys do this, so I will do this. And there is a very interesting experience that was made. So they took a group of 7 people. And حسن عافاك الوليد راه وقف لي التسجيل. شكرا. Thank you حبيبي. Thank you Zee. Thank you. They made this experiment. They took one lady they put it in a group of 7 other people, and they showed them a stick, right? So the person goes and says, they show them 3 sticks, and one of them is the shortest, obviously. And the first 2 rounds, everybody says, yeah, this is the shortest. But at the 3rd round, everybody starts saying that the mid stick is the shortest. And they're recording the lady, and the lady's like, no, that's the shortest stick. And after 3 or 4 after that, whatever they say, she starts saying. In full confidence, like they record and she's like, yeah, that's the shortest. That's the power of peer pressure. We need to belong. We are social animals. We need to feel like we're part of a group. If we want to play a lone wolf, it is possible. In the Sufi tradition, that say that the hardest position to be in is to be alone, because some people call it trauma from childhood. Some people call it the devil. Whatever tradition you belong or whatever you believe in, but those bad ideas will attack you with more speed if you're alone, especially if you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. So whenever there is a situation where I have to make decisions, I always check myself: hungry, angry, lonely, tired. And if I'm one of those, I need to change my state, because I know that my decision is not going to be to my best benefit. So as I was saying, I used to run away from any kind of arguments with people I love, with friends. Just as soon as the lineup was not proper, I'd be like, no, I'm just going to go to my tribe, people that understand me, people that respect my values, people that don't argue with me. But then I realized that those relationships with those people that will always agree with me, they were based on something else. And they were based on what I can provide them and what they can provide me, which is a safe place where I can just chill and be myself in complete passivity, or the party mode. You know, when the bottle is full, everybody's there. Shots. When there is no more shots, what now? Let's look for more. Oh, that's a good driving force. You know, so coming back to now, I realized that whenever I see adversity, I run towards it. Because that's the best thing I can do with the person I feel adversity from. It's not about the person, it's about why. What's happening between me and this person that's triggering this? It's not your fault. You're way more than just a thought on event, way more complex. How can I judge you because of one event, one crisis? You see what I mean? So on the contrary, I'm like, hey, can we have a partnership here? Can me and you get together and solve this? And we don't have to solve all problems. And if we are not able to solve the problem, maybe it's time to part away. And always on a high note, which takes us to a very good tip, is you never want to live on bad terms. No matter how bad the breakup may be, people remember the first impression, but even more the last impression. So no matter how bad things end up being with the person, and at the end you say, hey, I just want to let you know that we had some amazing times, and I will cherish them and I respect them and I will remember them. Right now, we cannot have that same kind of vibration, and I respect that, and we try to work it out, it's not working, but I will still remember the good memories. I appreciate you as a person, I wish you the best, and I hope when the vibration will be proper, again, maybe we can do something else together. Do you see what I mean? Because people change, Some people come here, they're like, coming 3-month retreats, or I'm just using the example of the retreat. I'm going to do it. After 1 month, they're like, saturated. After 2 weeks, after 1 week, they're like, I can't keep up with this, I need time to process. There is nothing wrong with that. People have the right to take time off and come back. Now, there is a time where the relationship can be so toxic and you're having very reasonable demands, because the other person, it's not about concession, it's about respect, And there is times where both of you agree on doing something and the other person is just not hearing you out. And you have very clear demand, hey, stop cussing me out, or stop being late. Very clear demands. That's your objective. That's your deal breaker. And you are very polite and you listen to the person, all the objection. But at the end, you're like, it sounds like there is nothing else I can say to change your mind. Powerful sentence. It sounds like there is nothing else I can do to change your mind. And if the other person is like, yeah, there's nothing you can do to change my mind. Okay, well, it's time to depart. If there is something I can say to change your mind, tell me. I'll say it, because I want to save this. I want to make this work. So I think lots of people learn to really enjoy solitude, and entertainment industry really went to a complete new level when you don't need people. Before the facts of being together with other people had to do with survival. If we're not together as a tribe, man, the wolf is going to attack, he's going to decimate us. But together we can go and hunt together. Now, who needs who? You have entertainment, you can create your own dopamine. You have supermarkets, you can buy anything. You don't even need to cook. So the social relationship requirement is not a necessity anymore for the basic needs, to eat, drink. But for this life to have significance, you need bonding. And not just bonding with a girlfriend, or you need to be able to bond with everybody. But for you to be able to bond with everybody, you need to be able to bond with yourself. That's why that speed meditation is the hardest. Because you sit and the La ilaha illallah meditation is saying that nothing is God but one. So as you're doing that, other things are going to pop up. Things that have claimed ownership on who you are. Your past, your thoughts, your emotions, your needs. The best idea in the world will come in, and the work is like, you are not my Lord, you are not my Lord. There is only one. The mystics talk about that as destroying the idols or the statues. Statues is something, a picture that you worship, And all the people that were talking about unification were like, stop worshiping things that don't move and don't speak. Because all those things that take ownership are like shocks, trauma, like a picture. Like you can see it very clearly that. It's, even if you can replay the movie, but it's always the same scene. While this reality have way more. And the mystics talk about, why don't you connect to the unlimited? Because it will never end. While a scene, no matter how beautiful, how traumatic, will have a beginning and an end. And that's why it's so hard, because when you're like, La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, your ego goes in. The reason of counting, the purpose of counting, is the ego hates counting. The ego hates measurable goals. The ego wants to go from 0 to enlightenment in a blink of an eye. We're here, then suddenly, boom, I'm on top of the moon. And the meditation is like, no, it's 20 minutes. How can I make time go faster? And if you try to give it a shot, you will notice that your nerves will come up. Sometimes you're like, here. Sometimes you're calm. Your state change. We don't look for a specific state when we do this meditation. Some days I'm going to do it and it's going to feel fantastic. Perfect alignment, my breathing, my vision, my thoughts, everything is beautiful. And some days it's horrible. And when you haven't done exercise of sitting with yourself, it's going to be extremely hard. You guys at least are polite, because if it's too much, you stand up and leave. Some people, they took it, they start shaking. I've seen some people rolling, people start crying. You know? So really, I know when it's a little bit of a challenge, but that's also a challenge among others. And this life is all about challenges. And I think when faced with those challenges, you have to go back to, if I was my best friend, how would I treat myself in this situation? You know, if I was my best friend, and you're like, man, I may have not been my best friend. I've been my best party friend. Ooh, let's go. You know, that's okay. But that's what a friend is all about. Pushing limits. And there is discovery time. 20s, 30s are made for that. Enjoy. I'm just telling you, like, somebody was on the other side is like, hey, have fun as much as possible, but don't lose your sanity to it. Lots of people tell me, Sham, how do I know if what I'm doing is working? Lots of people come here loaded with practices. I remember a very talented gentleman, and I asked him the question, what's your current practice? And he was like, man, I have so many. And he started writing. He had 25 different techniques that he has accumulated through different masters, through different trips. And I was like, in the short time you're going to be here, can you empty so that we can experience something new? And he was like, maybe I should do that. And he did. And it worked out great for him. Some people come in and they're like, no, I tried this way. I live the Sufi experience for a week, the Shaolin, Buddha, the teaching that you claim brought you where you are right now, and it's not working. And at the end of your trip, you're gonna be like, I gave my all. It didn't work. I can move on to my next journey. And you will learn. Do you see what I mean? Something that my Sufi master told me, and it's a recommendation to all the disciples through all the different mystic paths, don't mix. Don't mix practices. You are playing with your inner chemistry. Everything you repeat to yourself, you're making a connection to something. You find the La ilaha illallah sutra in many different traditions, even in Hinduism, that is a polytheistic religion. The idea of unicity is very important for your mental health. And the La ilaha illallah, there is lots of different affirmations that you can say, but they're all ego-driven. Some people have meditations where they focus on wealth. Okay? So they kind of start worship. Most of the affirmations are about me. My wealth, my well-being, my success, my confidence. La ilaha illallah is the only one that's not about you. It's about the source. And that makes it was the most powerful one. You can, Pablo Picasso, everybody knows Pablo Picasso. One of his painting and we're set. If all of us have one painting of Pablo Picasso, we just can go on cruise for the rest of our lives. How long can we do that for? Anyways, the mystics, they don't want the painting of the Picasso, they want Picasso. You don't see the painter. Who did all of this? That's who the Sufi wants to reach to. That's what that La ilaha illallah meditation stands for. Transcend me, my desire, my needs, my comfort to go beyond. Now, some people tell me, oh man, physically I can't. I've never set CrossFit on the floor, very painful. Sit on a chair. Sure, no problem. But you need to start somewhere in this tradition. You know, martial art retreat. Every time you see a martial art training or movie and they show glimpses of the training, how is the training looking? It's pretty painful. Repetition, repetition. Breaks, where you're holding still, staying in the water. Ta, 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 ta. Why? You get to a point where your physical sensations are just sensations. It's not pain. I need to do something and I feel that. Can I control it? And the ego doesn't like discomfort. Ego likes comfortably sitting, warmth, good, feeling full. You know, nothing wrong with that. The Sufi are all about enjoying the pleasures of this worldly life. But there is moments where you forget about yourself and you try to connect to the highest. Because that's where the source of everything you need is. You know? How do I know if what I'm doing is working? Because lots of people come with practices. I've been doing this, I've been doing affirmations, I've been doing this transcendental thing, I've been doing the chakra thing. All good. But there is two filters you need to look at. One, how is the man in the mirror? When I look at myself in the mirror, am I okay? I'm like, and I'm not talking just sensations. I'm talking about physically how you see yourself. Are you well rested? Are your nails cut? Are you groomed? Are you tired? How is your skin? How is my sleep? You know? Then the second filter is how are my relationships? Can I be friendly and kind to a complete stranger? Can I really have a sustainable conversation with somebody that has complete opposite views? Can I sit in a conversation for an hour and a half, 2 hours with somebody who is the opposite of me? There is degrees, right? Right? Yes, it's good to find comfort, and that's the first phase. But once you find your comfort and you're like, hey, no matter what's happening in my life, I'm strong in it, then you go face adversity. You go toward the enemy. But now it's just, I think the first step is just to, what do I need to do to take care of me so that no matter what happens between the morning and the night time here, I accept. I don't go through hikes or pikes of emotions. I can be mellow. That's my measurement, you know. And lots of people have gone on retreat, like the Batman, you know, to little wink at the superhero. The superhero with great power comes great responsibility. You know, the Batman goes to the Batcave, at the school he went to. You know, it doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan, right? So these moments where you go inside, not to get comfortable. You can get comfortable. You can just be home and movie and binge on Netflix and have some chocolate, pizza delivery, you know, other stuff, you know. But there's these moments where you come out of it stronger. And when you go back and all the things that are energy vampire, that are these guys as maybe friends or you don't know who they are, you can go there and face them because you have now practices. No matter how bad that sponge you throw in your stomach, you're like, man, I received so many of them at Koom. And I have techniques to use it. And I win it. And that day I hated Sean. Didn't like him. I wanted to quit. No good. Why is he talking to me about this? Who is he? Who am I? Blah, blah. And the morning after, hey, back on training. That never happened. We had to train. When we were in China, sometimes we had competitions. And 2 weeks before the competition, there was late training. Like the last training finishes at 7. And then people train from 9 all the way to 12, 1 a.m. Forms and repetition and things of that kind. So it was a big deal. You know, it was like a very interesting vibe in the temple. And we go and everybody scores lots of medals. And they give medals pretty easily just for participation. But you come and everybody's so pumped up about the medals. And the Shifu says, after he gives a medal to everybody with name and everybody applauds, he's like, everybody got their medals? Yes? That was the past. Let's go back to training. Doesn't matter what your achievements are. I understand that, yes, it's good to say, oh yeah, you did that. That's the past. You know hunger? When you're hungry, your mom has been cooking for you all your life. One day her meal is missing or the food is not good, and you're like complete denial of all the good meals that were offered before. And that's what life is. And there is nothing wrong of expecting good of you all the time. And I know when I'm getting to that zone when it's comfortable, I have a way and I'm like, oh my gosh, today was great. And then I crash. I'm like, oh my, I'm horrible. No, keep on. Remember regulations, rules of healing. When things are not working out and you're still honest to your practice, keep on. Keep on. This is a place where you want to fail a lot because it's a safe environment. There is no consequences as long as you respect the 3 rules. No drug, no alcohol, no aggression. If you can stick to those, no matter what happens, in our conversation, on the field, it's just part of training. You know? You're sharpening your skill, I'm sharpening your skills. And at the end, to me, it's a reputation protection. That's what I'm doing. When you're going to go out and somebody's going to meet Alex Wood, and you'll be like, hey, he was training with Sham in Koom. That's now my name on the line. Oh, you trained with that guy. Why are you like this? You know, really? You went there and you're behaving like this? That's the way I look at it. It doesn't matter what's happening in the back scene. But for me, I take pride in saying, hey, he got the certificates from me, from my family, from my home. You know, this is no dream. For real, there is place like this. For real, we live like this 365 days a year. You know? For real, we're at service. It doesn't matter. My private life is, I try to respect, protect it with having those time off, but you guys come first. Sitting, having dinner, Oliver gets sick, anybody has something, I say, Hasna, I have to go. And she understands, she's like, go. Because that's what we signed up for, because some people did that for us. When I was sitting and puking and having all the dark thoughts in the world, somebody was like, hey, it's okay. You know, you need to rest more, you know. And others were like, no, you need to show up to work. And I remember I'll come to work late to my first job with Darren, and I mean, I was just in college, man. I was completely I was completely asleep. Long story short, I'm waking up late. So he calls me and I don't pick up the phone, and I get in the car and I'm driving, and he's like, Shah, man, where are you? You're late. I was like, yeah, he's like, which streets are you on? And I'm lying. I tell him like I'm in the street way closer to the place of work. He's like, pull over, give your phone to somebody next to you to confirm which street you're on. That's the kind of attention I received by the people that trained me. They will take no BS. And they will put me in front of us, okay, if you're not happy, leave me. But as long as you're with me, I'm going to try to do my best to do that. And they're kind, and they cut slack, and they come back. And some days, I hated them. But then after they come back, I'm like, oh, man, cool. You know? So sorry for my flow of thoughts, because when we do the meditation, I think, I'm like, man, what are we going to talk about? You know, and I'm full of, you know, experiences, and I want to share, and I'm like, man, I wish somebody told me this one was your age, you know. And for a long period of time I didn't, but alhamdulillah, everything happens the right time. You're hearing this at 26, I heard this at 38. Why do you get it earlier? I don't know. But I know that something or somebody is praying for you. Somebody somewhere is, it's either you come from a good family tree, or you're very good to your parents, or you're really trying to get out of the hole. You know? Bad people don't make it here. They don't make it to the door. You know? For you to come in a place where you hear conversation about divinity, we hear about clean eating, no profanity, you know, somebody is praying for you. So whoever that is, alive or not, we wish them peace, and we thankful to have them in our lives, because some people don't have people that are wishing them well, you know. And And I pray Allah for you to get to the phase where you feel so confident, inshallah, that whenever you see darkness, you go there and you have all the tools to create light without letting their emotion or your emotion do that. When will it happen? It has nothing to do with duration. It's not about who has been doing it the longest, but who has the most sincere in the request. If your request is sincere, you will be surprised how fast it comes at you. What you are looking for, if you are sincere. So we ask Allah for sincerity, in what we need, in our demands, in our consistency and steadfastness. And this completes Sufi Talks for today. I wish you a beautiful rest of the evening. If I can be of any help, I'll be around the center. And shukran. You're welcome.